Hey metal fans, Mike with MikeOnMetal here with your weekly mom-approved metal picks. Don't mind my voice this week. I caught something while shooting the Trivium show in Calgary last week. I'm still getting over it. So if you still haven't checked out the shots I took of Trivium, Ginger, and Harriet, you can find them all on my site, MikeOnMetal.com, in the photo section. As you can see, the handlebars are gone now. Movember's over, and so is my channeling of James Hetfield. I considered keeping it until someone from the Metallica camp left a comment on my channel, but I'd probably be as old as James is now before that happens. I also just really didn't think I could continue with that look for that much longer. Now, quick reminder on the format for these weekly videos. Each week I'll be bringing you my top 3 picks in death, black, and core metal genres. At least for now. We might change it up in the new year and mix in a few other genres. We'll see how it goes. This could include like Blackened death, symphonic black, deathcore, or even any of the other subgenres. All right, without further ado, let's get into the music. So for black metal this week, I've got a couple of tongue twisters here, and we're starting out with number 3, which is a black metal album titled Cyclically Slaughtering Shadow of the Urgent, and this is by Sammorra Shadow. Number 2, an atmospheric black metal album titled Ecstasy of the Frontier of Blood by Puritan Bone. And the number 1 spot for me this week, a melodic black metal album called The Realm of Ideas and Shadows, and this one is by Hope Behind the Hills. Now, out of the 3, Hope Behind the Hills just hit on all the marks I like when it comes to black metal albums. The vocal styling, the tremolo guitars, combined with melodic passages. I just feel like I was taken on a journey with this album. I didn't find myself bored or wanting to skip any tracks. Not that that was an issue with the other 2 either, but this one just had, I guess, more presence to it that I felt like I was more intrigued, and it kept my attention a little bit better than the other 2. Now, while this does push into like post-black realm, it's not so far that I think black metal purists won't find something to like here. I mean, if that's possible for black metal purist fans to actually admit to liking something. I played this one through no less than 5 times since Friday. I'm recording this on Monday, so again, it has been a few days, but I'm always finding new reasons to like it. A favorite track is the last one on the album. It's got this build-up that just explodes, and then it almost goes to like just complete calmness. It's about close to the halfway mark through the song, and then it just slowly starts to build momentum again. The clean vocals are just a perfect match for the music of that section as well. And then when the harsh vocals come back in, the song just builds back into an almost like cinematic conclusion, or it's just like as if it was written for a movie. It's the perfect conclusion to this album. All right, next up in the death metal category. Coming in at number 3, this one is just straight up death metal, is The Conquering Darkness by Malefic Throne. Number 2, we have a little bit of Blackened death metal, and this one is Demons of Lust by Death Yell. And number 1, I know this is on other people's lists. I try to be a little bit more original, but man, Cloven Tongues of Fire by the Ominous Circle. This is just pure darkness wrapped in a musical veil. Now, I'm not usually one for opening tracks that aren't full songs, but what I've always said about them is that they need to tie into the rest of the album. And in this case, the eerie, mysterious, and just completely fucking creepy noises of the 1 minute long Thus Beckons the Abyss that opens this album, let's just say it sets the stage for the rest of the album in such an incredible way. Everything about this album is dark. The mood, the tempos, the mix of leads and rhythm styles. I honestly don't think you could package evil into a sound, but that's exactly what the Ominous Circle have done here. I can't remember the last time an album gave me chills like this. I would suggest playing this one with the lights on. Now, with this being their sophomore album, I'm intrigued to see if their debut is as dark and hellish sounding as this one. I haven't had to listen to it yet, but I will, and I'll let you all know on my threads or on my Instagram. I honestly can't offer up a favorite track on this one, but I can say this one has landed in my top 10 for 2025. All right, and last up is our core genres. Coming in at number 3, some Blackened deathcore with Submit or Rot by The Bleak. Number 2, I don't have a genre for this one, so I need to look it up. Number 2 is a mix of hardcore death metal, and it's Nothing But Machine Now by Misericordium. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that one right, but you can see the text on the screen. The number 1 pick for this week is The World Is Not Yours, Blackened Grindcore by Month. So this is one of those albums that's really difficult to both explain as well as explain what it is that makes it so good. It's like they've taken all the best elements of black metal and grindcore and then blended them together into something that can't be described in words, but just needs to be heard. No, not heard, experienced. Now, some of the songs have a clearly more black metal feel to them, while others definitely lean heavily into grindcore, but this isn't one of those albums where each track is kind of decidedly black metal or grindcore, so they ended up calling it Blackened Grindcore. It's truly an exceptional blending of the two genres, and with 13 tracks hitting just a minute shy of 40 minutes, you get that grindcore song length. Now, we're not talking like Napalm Death Scum short song length, but it's hitting in that realm with some of these songs being like a minute to 2 minutes long. This is the debut album for the Australian group, so I'm really interested to follow their career based on this first outing because this album just kicked my ass. All right, and finally, we have my weekly Ripped From The Crypt, where I pick an album from any genre, any time frame other than this past week. And this week I've got Warp Zone by Martyr. Now, this is the second full-length album released by this technical death metal band from Quebec, Canada. They're still active, most recently opening in Montreal for Arch Enemy on their 2025 North American tour. Tech death, so much of which is, in my opinion, just like overly produced and showy for no other reason than to be showy. I'm sorry. I love technical death metal, but when it gets to the point of just, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like showing off instead of making music for the sake of the music. It's making music for the sake of, look at what I can do. And I know it's going to piss a few people off, but that's just my opinion of some of the tech death that's out there. It's focused, but with sections of technical precision that don't go on any longer than they need to. There's no like 2.5 minute long guitar interludes on this. It's tight with sweeping leads, It's got some chugging on it combined with melodic, rhythmic backing. There's a mix of different vocal styles ranging from like death metal style deep growls to a more thrash type harsh vocal. So I'm not sure what they're teaching in music classes out in Quebec, but the number of incredible tech metal bands coming out of that province just keeps getting better and better. And with this release going back to 2000, it's apparently been a thing for a few decades now. I can only find this one on Bandcamp, so I'll put a link to the album down in the description for you. All right, metalheads, those are my Mom Approved metal picks for the week. Now, for those of you who haven't caught on yet, Mom Approved is just MikeOnMetal, Mom, little tongue-in-cheek fun, but it's also so that you can go and tell people that you only listen to Mom-approved music. Thank you for checking them out. Make sure if you do listen to any of them, hit me up either in the comments or over on my socials so we can chat about your opinions on any of the albums that I recommend. I'll see y'all next week for more recommendations. Now, I know a lot of channels out there are getting into their album of the year videos next week. I'm not doing that. There were some really good albums that came out in December last year that ended up in my top 40. So I'm not going to do a top 40 on the channel. I'm actually going to stick with a top 10 or a top 20. I haven't decided yet, but that won't happen until we get into the new year. And I've actually had a chance to listen to everything that's coming out for 2025. As always, support your local scene, buy the damn album, and whatever you do, stay heavy.